DJ's name was Chewy, okay? We walk in the studio, he looked like a Chewy. He had Chewy features. But we were on a hip-hop station, right? So it catches me off guard. As soon as we go on the air, the guy's talking about,
yeah, what's up? This Chewy Gomez jamming on Throwback here on 106 KMEM. Hell yeah, you know what I'm saying? What's up, bitch?
And I was like, hey man, why are you talking like that?
Yo, dog, what you talking about? Fool, I'm keeping it real. Hell yeah.
I'm like, I'm keeping it real. And I realized it was all part of the show because we went on for like 45 minutes. And finally at the end, I realized it was a show because as soon as we went off, it was like,
yeah, don't forget to get my man, Gabriel Iglesias, this weekend at the Punchlines. Peace.
Hijo de la chingada, ese pinche trabajo está difícil, hombre. Está cabrón, está cabrón. No, hombre, que me tiene trabajando como negro, está cabrón. No, madre. Pinche gringo.
that's more like it. DJ's always messing me up. And if it's not that DJ that messes me up, it's the one that's here in LA, the one that does all the commercials. You know the one, right? Even if you don't speak Spanish, you've heard this guy at one point in time.
Este sábado, presentamos Los Tigres del Norte. Sí, no se lo pierdan, no se lo pierdan, no se lo pierdan. 800-555-444. Presentado por Budweiser, Taquinga Beers. Así es que no se lo pierdan ese sábado. No se lo pierda.
That guy. So I get to meet homeboy, right? Nobody told me that this guy didn't know the difference between reality and radio. And I walk in the studio, he scared me. He did. I walked in, I was like, hey, what's up?
¿Qué pasó?
Are we on the air? No! And it freaked me out because I thought about it. What about when he goes home talking like that to his wife and his kids come 2, 3 o'clock in the morning? Maybe his wife wants to do a little something. And she tells him, "Ay, honey, tonight, when the kids are sleeping, what are you going to do to me? ¿Qué me vas a hacer?"
Bueno, digo, para ver que sueles que va a tomar un botano, darlos al cuarto. Te puedes abrochar los pantalones, quitarte los calzones para mirar ese culote. ¡Mira nomás! ¡Mira nomás! ¡Sí! ¡Sí! Esta nalgada está presentada por Budweiser. ¡Es para usted! ¡Sí!
Oh man. The funny part is I know a couple white guys are gonna go home tonight and try that.
That's right, honey. Say it! Say it! Stop it! Say it!
No, sometimes I use my voices for evil, man. I won't lie. If I don't have my way, like when I go to drive-thrus and they screw up my order, oh, I'm evil. I go back around and I start ordering, but I throw them off by doing this, right? They'll come on the speaker.
We're gonna fantastic burger. How can I help you?
And I'll do this.
Hello, sir. Can I please have a double cheeseburger and order fries and a shake?
Burgers and all these order fries and a shake.
Oh my God, yes.
Thank you. Pull up to the window.
And I pull up. Oh, they're not expecting me. Oh, the look on their face is the best, right? Did you just order? They come back with a bag of food, you know. Would you like ketchup? That's where I let them have it.
Oh my God, yes.
Hell yeah, man. Oh, and by the way, before I forget, I know I have a habit in my shows of sometimes throwing a little Spanish in there. If you don't understand Spanish, I do apologize, okay? I promise I will be translating. I don't want anybody freaking out or reporting me to the management with concerns or issues, you know.
What the hell is going on in there? What kind of show is this? No, somebody better hit the SAP button on that sumbitch real quick. I didn't pay good money to hear some Samoan speak Spanish.
I'm not Samoan, I'm fluffy. I didn't know why the guy thought I was Samoan, you know? And I've had this happen a couple times where people go, "Are you Hawaiian?" I'm like, "No." No, not just a shirt. I thought it was just a shirt, but no. How could it just be a shirt? Just because you wear a freaking sombrero, that doesn't make you Mexican. I see white people Cinco de Mayo wearing a sarape, walking a donkey with a sombrero. You don't look at him and go, hola, amigo. No, you're like, hey, Ted. Hi. You know, and he's walking around, hola, come on. Come on, stupid donkey. Donkey, come on. I don't get it, man. I'm just trying to do my thing. But it's funny, though. I didn't know why the guy thought I was Hawaiian until I actually went to Hawaii. I found out that Hawaiian people actually look like swollen Mexicans. They do. I got off the plane. I looked around. I was like, oh, my God, my family. Even they were like, aloha, brother, lo que le, malo, malo. Órale. I loved Hawaii. Hawaii was great, man. They have a lot of different cultures there. They have a lot of Asian people. A lot of Koreans. I know this because I got a couple of shirts tailored at some places, and every time I'd go in, it was always a Korean lady. An older Korean lady who was mean. I'd walk in, and this one lady always had a comment to make. I'm there for a week, and every day she had a different comment. I walk in one day, and I couldn't say anything either because she was 75 years old. I can't say nothing back, you know, but there I am walking in. The lady behind the counter,
Oh, look at who's here. Look at who's here. Oh, shit, we're gonna work hard today.
I go home to find out that someone broke into my house. Yeah, I'm like, are you kidding me? That's why I survived to see this shit. The only reason why you haven't heard about it until now is because the detective who's working the case told me I'm not allowed to talk about it. In California. Yeah, if the guys that broke into my house are here tonight, bravo. Bravo, that's a flex and a half. No, they broke into my house, and of course, the number one question is, what did they take from your house? And what they took from me, honestly, was my peace of mind. I didn't feel safe in that house after. But if you must know, I did everything to prevent a break-in. I had, first of all, a good neighborhood. I had an alarm. I had 2 camera systems. I had a fence that surrounded the property. I thought I was good. I got video footage of the entire robbery in 4K. Oh, that shit is crisp. I saw the guys that broke in, but I could not identify them because they were wearing masks. All I can tell you about the 2 guys that broke into my house is that they were 20 years old. I know they were 20 because when they jumped the fence and hit the ground, no pain. If that would have been like a 35-year-old with a messed up sciatica, he'd have thought twice about that fence. So they jumped the fence, they went in the backyard, and they broke the window and got in through the kitchen. They trashed my house, okay? Every drawer open, every cabinet open, everything got pulled out onto the floor so they could sift. Couches were flipped over, cushions were thrown down, and they pulled every single frame off the wall. And I asked the detective, I said, hey, look, I understand the drawers, the cabinets, and even the couch thing, but what's the story with the frames on the wall? Why did they take everything off the wall, but they didn't take any of the frames? Some of that stuff was art. Mr. Iglesias, you have to understand something about these people that broke into your home. They were not looking for photos or art. They were actually looking for a safe. I said, a safe? Yes, sir, a safe. A lot of times in these homes, people will put a hole in the wall, install a safe, and then they'll hang a frame over the safe to disguise that their valuables are in there. I said, a safe? Sir, yes, a safe. But I just got this money. Did they check the mattress? Well, I don't know. Well, let's find out. So we walk into the master bedroom. I grabbed the edge of the bed, right? And I picked it up and I was like, ah, stupid!
It's all here! Oh my God, these guys had no idea they were robbing somebody more ghetto than them. So at the end of it, they only got a couple of little trinkets from the drawers. And that's pretty much it. They made a mess of the house. They didn't get any of the money. I'll tell you what they did get. They got my guns. Now, I have never been open about the fact that I am, in fact, a registered gun owner. Relax, Florida. I've never been open about it because, quite frankly, it's nobody's business. Okay? However, it does pertain to the story that I'm about to share with you. I am a recent gun owner. I became a gun owner in 2020. Okay? When we were in the middle of it. Every morning watching the news, we didn't know what was gonna happen. And it started to feel irresponsible not preparing myself for a worst case situation. Every morning watching the news, it felt like we were headed towards the purge. Some of you are laughing, but think about this. The purge would have taken less time. Yeah, the purge. That's how they should have woke us up every morning, at least for entertainment purposes. I'd like to thank you for your participation in the pandemic. The local time is 7:45 a.m. Fear is why I decided to buy a gun. I was afraid, and I got no problem saying that. I was scared. We didn't know what was gonna happen. It's only for protection. I don't hunt. I don't wanna hunt. I don't need to hunt. I know where there's 3 Chick-fil-A's. I'm good. I don't go out on the weekends, you know. Pull! There's no crank, 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 crank. I still own a Nintendo. I don't need that shit. Fear is the only reason why I decided to buy a gun. So next thing you know, I wound up at this sporting goods store right by my house. I walk in there, and this place is packed full of people that normally would not have been open to the idea of owning a gun. But they felt like me. They were scared. And rightfully so. I kept hearing the same conversation over and over and over. I kept hearing this. I would rather have a gun and not need it than need it and not have it. And I don't care where you're from. That makes a lot of sense. And I was not about to let politics interfere with my personal safety.
Martin, are you ready?
Let's do it, players.
Oz, are you ready?
Kicking off our new season of Stand Up Revolution, you guys, is a friend of ours that we've been touring with for the last 4 months. Believe me when I tell you, this guy is a superstar in the making. Coming to you all the way from South Africa. Put your hands together. Show your love for our friend, Mr. Trevor Noah!
I'm glad to be here, man. This was my dream. My dream was to come to America, you know, not for a job or money or anything. I've got a great life back home. I always came here because I wanted one thing, and that is I always wanted to be black. I grew up in South Africa during a time known as apartheid. And for those who don't know, apartheid was a law in the country that made it illegal for black and white people to mix, which was awkward for me because I grew up in a mixed family. Well, with me being the mixed one in the family. My mother's a black woman, South African, and my father's Swiss, from Switzerland. So he was a white man. And well, he still is. It's not like he changed. I say that like through hard work and determination, he became black. No, that did not happen. And sir, you're fine. I see the white guy going, is that part? No, it's not possible. You are fine, sir. He's still very white, very white. And so they got together, my parents, black mom, white dad, which was against the law, but they didn't care. They were mavericks, you know? Yeah, my mom was like, woo, I don't care, I want a white man, woo! And my dad was also, well, you know how the Swiss love chocolate, you know? So he was just, he was in there. And so they got together, and they had me, which was illegal. So I was born a crime. Which is something they never thought through, because as a family, we didn't live together normally. Like in the streets, my father had to walk on the other side of the road, and he could just wave at me from far, like a creepy pedophile. So my mom could walk with me, but if the police showed up, she had to let go and act like I wasn't hers every time. Like, woo! She's like, it's not mine, it's not mine. Felt like a bag of weed. And one fateful day, you know, because I was never given a race, I was never called black, never called white, I had the privilege of meeting an American, and he said to me, well, you know, Trevor, it's funny you say that, because if you come out to America, they'll label you as black. I said, really? He said, hell yeah. Everybody's black out there. I was like, well, I want to be black. Yeah. I bought myself a plane ticket because I found out it's true. Mixed race people are categorized as black in America. Yeah, the only catch is you have to be successful first. Before that, they call you mixed, achieve success, and you get upgraded to black. All the famous mixed people have done it. Singers like Alicia Keys and Mariah Carey, mixed, but they say black, right? Tiger Woods, mixed, but they say black golfer. The most famous mixed person on the planet, Barack Obama, mixed, half and half, but you say your first black president. When he was running, he was the mixed candidate. Now it seems obvious. People are like, yeah, he won. Back then, nobody believed he would win. I remember comedians dissing him. They'd come up and be like, how many of y'all seen that mixed race fool running for president? Y'all seen that crazy ass mixed fool? How some mixed fool gonna come in? Even a black man can't win. This mixed fool thing gonna win. He gonna win. Ain't no mixed fool. I ain't seen no mixed fool coming out here winning in the United States. That mixed fool, that mixed fool. And then he won, and all of a sudden they were like, my. So I see. And I wanted black. So I bought myself a plane ticket. Yeah, 18 hours of flying, that's what I had to sit through. 18 hours of non-stop flying. I didn't sleep a wink. I sat on that plane and I watched every single black American movie and TV show I could find just so I could practice being black. I was not gonna mess up that black opportunity. I just sat there like a madman in my chair, just like watching movies, practicing. Yeah, you know what I mean, you know what I mean? Yeah. Oh, you laugh, but I landed in Miami and I was fluent in my black American. For shizzle my nizzle, I was just, yeah. I was so black, I was even laughing black. I was like, ha, ha, ha. Yeah, my man. I was super black. Till some guy came up to me and was like, oye, papi. Ya llegamos, eh? 18 hours of flying and I still wasn't black. I was Puerto Rican. You guys have been great. Thanks for having me.
Ladies and gentlemen, keep it going for Trevor Noah!
Oh my God. What a way to kick off our show, you guys. Our first show with Mr. Trevor Noah. Martin, Trevor Noah.
Dude, it was amazing, bro. Did you see the women's response to Trevor? How many ladies find Trevor's accent incredibly sexy?
How many of you guys found Trevor Noah's really ozo? I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna hate on him. Wait, ladies, you went crazy for him. I know, he's a good-looking man. I'm not gay, but if we were locked up, hell yeah. Oh, you don't even know. I would tear his ass up to the Lion King soundtrack. A good-looking dude. I gotta tell you guys, Trevor Noah has been on the road with Martin and I for, like I said, the last 4 months, and he's a great friend and a funny man. And any of the stories you guys might have heard about us in the past and the practical jokes, they've all been true, especially when a new guy shows up. You know, Trevor's a cool dude, you guys, but we couldn't wait to have fun with him. So let me tell you a quick story. We were doing a show in a city called Eagle Pass in the state of Texas. Now, got some Tejanos in the house? What's up? You far from home, coño. So anyway, We're doing a show out in Eagle Pass, Texas. Now, I have a friend of mine named Rick Gutierrez, who's also a comic who was on last season, who lives in San Antonio, Texas, which is about an hour or so away from Eagle Pass. He bought a new car and he drove from from San Antonio to Eagle Pass to meet up with us for a show that night. After the show was over, he says, hey man, he goes, you want to leave a little bit early and we'll take my car and you can drive it and the guys can catch up with us tomorrow in the tour bus. So I'm like, cool, let's take off. So I tell Martin and Trevor and the rest of the guys, I'll see you guys tomorrow night. I'm leaving with Rick. So we get in Rick's car and I get to drive. We head to San Antonio. About 30 minutes into the drive, we start seeing flashing lights on the side of the freeway. And then a big sign that comes up and it says, immigration checkpoint ahead. Okay? Don't worry, this story ends differently. So anyways, I still get nervous. You know, I'm driving and I pull up to the line. And I'm sitting there and I'm just waiting for the officer to say something that's gonna annoy the hell out of me. So I'm just waiting, and here comes the officer, and when he saw me, he said, "Oh, Fluffy!" And when I heard that, in my mind, I was like, I'm not going to jail. So he's like, dude, what are you doing here? I said, well, we have a show tomorrow night in San Antonio, and we're just passing through. Where's your tour bus? I said, well, my tour bus is back in Eagle Pass with the other guys. He goes, can we take a picture? I go, what about, cars coming? He goes, there hasn't been a car here in hours. So we get out of the car, we take some pictures with the immigration officer and the dog, We get back inside and he says, thank you so much for taking the picture with me. I really appreciate it, man. We're just bored right now. I go, really? You guys are bored? Yeah, we're bored. I said, well, my tour bus is going to be passing through here in about 2 hours. And it says, we have a new guy on the bus who's from South Africa, and he's been bragging about his immigration status and how he never has problems with customs or immigration because all of his paperwork is always in order. I'm just saying, if you're bored. Next morning, you guys, I get a text from Trevor, okay? And you see how cool and calm he is. That text sounded mad. I just look at it and it said, you're a dick. I couldn't get to Trevor fast enough to hear the story, right? So Martin and I, we pull up to the theater and we see Trevor. And he already told me in the car, dude, Trevor's mad. I see Trevor, I'm like, Trevor, you okay? And he just went off. Gabriel, it was insanity, I tell you. It was insanity. They pulled me off the tour bus like I was a common criminal. I wasn't wearing any pants. They took away my passport, my cell phone, all of my money. They stuck me in a jail cell with other criminals. Don't you have anything to say? I said, dude, you said you wanted to be black.
But yeah, somebody asked me earlier too. They said, Gabriel, when you get to do your special, are you going to do anything about the country? Are you going to talk about politics? Well, I'm going to talk about, first of all, how I love this country and I wouldn't want to live anywhere else. I know that half the world right now thinks that our leader is the devil, and most of us would agree. He's not, I don't have to make fun of the president. He does it by himself. Okay? He does it by himself. Every time he comes on TV, I can't wait to hear what he has to say, especially during press conferences, right?
Mr. President, question. It's been over a year. What is your plan for Katrina?
We're gonna find her. That's right. And we're gonna bring Katrina to justice. We have every reason to believe Katrina's connected to Al Qaeda. K to Katrina. They both start with a K. Our president got elected. I didn't vote for him, but then again, I didn't vote for the other guy either. I was just like, How Bush won is beyond me. Americans, we love to vote, but we don't vote for presidents. We vote for things like American Idol. Because that's fun. Voting for presidents is not fun. Voting for American hits, she-bang, she-bang. That's what they should do for presidents, just put both guys on TV for 1 hour. Call it something catchy like, who's gonna run this bitch? You put them on TV for an hour, let them argue. 30 minutes into the special, you put an 800 number on the screen and say, cast your vote, right? You've reached the presidential hotline. For George Bush, press 3. John Kerry, press 4. Other options, press 5. You don't like either one? Press 5. Please hold. I knew you'd be back. That's right. You know you miss your daddy. I'm such a dork. I don't care. But I have fun though, you know. One thing you guys definitely made possible is I have the ability now to travel, and I never did that. I never used to travel until I became a comedian. I'm like, oh my God, there's a whole nother world out there. When I was hanging out in Florida, I got a chance to experience an amusement park that was a little different. It was an alternative park called Gatorland. It's a real park, and I've met the owners, and they're really cool people, but I gotta tell you, best part about this amusement park is they have a recording. The funniest thing I've ever heard. You call this park, this is what you hear. Yeah! You've reached Gatorland, America's premier gator extravaganza. You've seen them on TV, now come see them live. Gatorland, you're gonna love this park. Then he says this, for Spanish, press 2. Oh, I gotta hear this. I don't speak Spanish, but you're gonna love this park.
But every now and then I go out and I wanna meet people. I wanna see cool things. And for example, comedy. I'm a huge fan of comedy, not just performing it, but I love going to shows. I go to a comedy show every now and then alone. Now, I don't know if that sounds weird to you guys, but for me to do anything nowadays by myself, it's my crew, all the people that work for me, they freak out when I go places because they're always concerned for my safety. You know, what if someone tries to kidnap you? Well, they're gonna earn it. I got into a fight with some of my team members, and I said, you know what, I'm going out. I bought myself a ticket, and I went to go watch Chris Rock one night in concert. Now, I says, you know what? Maybe I can make my way backstage, and I don't know, if I get lucky, maybe I'll say hi to him. I've always wanted to meet him. So I go to the side of the stage, and I run into security, and I said, hey. He looked at me and said, Fluffy! And when he did that, I said, hey, listen, I forgot my keys. I'll be right back. And the guy's like, yeah, keep going. Get your keys, get your keys, get your keys. I'm like, oh my God, that shit worked. Just like that, I snuck backstage at a Chris Rock concert. Once I was behind the curtain, I was in my element. I knew where everything was. I knew where the food was. I knew where the dressing rooms were, where the bathrooms were. I'm walking around with a soda. People are coming up to me. You know, we didn't know you were gonna be here. I got a call last minute. Looking for my keys. I says, you know what? I got this far. I'm gonna push it. I wanna meet him. I've always wanted to meet Chris Rock. It was not hard. Once I was back there, I just had to go to the dressing rooms. All I had to do was read the name on the door. I'm standing there in front of the door and I'm hyperventilating, just. The door opens up and there's this man in there, this bodyguard who's just massive. I'm a big guy, but damn, dude was huge. As soon as he opened the door, just. Welcome to Jurassic. Big! Grandote! And I'm standing there and I'm like, hi. And he's like, can I help you? Yes, my name is Gabriel. I'm a comedian. And I wanted to see if I could say hi to Chris Rock, if that's possible. You say you're a comedian? Yes. Well, then you understand Chris is going over his material right now. He really ain't trying to talk to nobody. So I'll tell you what, player, if you want to come by after the show, you're more than welcome to. But right now, it's not a good time. Chris Rock is a busy man. Can I wave? Excuse me? Can I wave? What you mean? Can I wave at Chris? I don't have to come in. Can I wave? Chris Rock is in the room. He can hear the stupid conversation that's taking place. I know this because I can hear Chris Rock in the background. What's going on? Who's at the door? Move out the way. Yo, Chris, I got this, man. I got this. Move! All right. And the guy stands to the side, and now I'm looking at Chris Rock, and he recognized me, and it freaked me out. Oh, yeah, it freaked me out. He's like, ah, shit! Look who it is. Look who it is. It's the king of the Mexicans. Chris Rock called me the king of the Mexicans. For the rest of the show, everyone referred to me as El Chapo.